Collective says any form of lockdown will be a death sentence for the industry. This comes as more countries put South Africa on the red list due to the newly detected Omicron Covid-19 variant. Joining me now to talk about this and the impact of the ban on the hospitality industry is Chairman of the Restaurant Collective, that's Grace Harding. Grace, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Now, the decision by the British government and prospects of a new wave of infections couldn't have come at a worse time when many businesses in the hospitality sector are preparing for this festive rush. What, in your view, will be the impact on restaurants and businesses who had hoped to recover from the impact of more stricter lockdown restrictions?
Well, it certainly looks like Groundhog Day, doesn't it? We never imagined that we would have a 3rd December in such a turmoil and in such crisis. From reading everything out there and trying to focus on the scientific bits of information, it does seem that the British government's decision was extremely hasty. And we know that something's going to come. We are really hopeful that our government really looks at things logically. Like Intimani spoke with you guys earlier, spoke about what is the use of banning alcohol. You know, there's no data that says restaurants are super spreaders, and we've been drinking alcohol for 4 months and the cases have been low. So it's a very nerve-wracking time, and people really, I mean, the last time I spoke about it, I said, I think they're on their last legs, and now I don't know what to say. I think they're on their leg stompies now.
And let's look at the South African hospitality sector. It generates about 1.5 million direct and indirect jobs, and a new travel ban is a severe blow. Now, the prospects of more stricter lockdown restrictions could mean jobs could be shared in the sector. What is your view?
It's definitely a reality, you know, and there's no more tours on its way, I'm sure, or any of that kind of support. So definitely a reality. I mean, the tourist areas, the Cape, Eastern Cape, that has been so hard knocked. They're just starting to get back on their feet, and there's also talk of closing the internal borders. So it's just a tragedy all round. I understand there's another variant. Who knows? There may be half a dozen more variants.
Right.
But is this the only way to respond? Surely there should be other ideas that we can discuss.
And to expand on that, there is also this alternative view that the world will unfortunately need to learn to live with COVID-19 variants for the foreseeable future. Talk us through what restaurateurs have been doing to ensure that their customers are also safe.
Well, the first thing, as you know, and I'm sure as you've been speaking to people for the last 2 days, all we are saying is vaccination, vaccination, vaccination. So the first thing is we have to take a very hard stance on the anti-vaxxers. There's some people who've just gone for their first vaccine and they're too lazy to go for their second.
Right.
So we can't only say to the government, you know, sort the vaccinations out, which we are saying, but also to restaurant owners and to the members of the public to please not be ignorant and get vaccinated. Because if the vaccinations were higher, we would not be in this predicament. From a restaurant perspective and the taverns, I mean, we've had the protocols in place for over 2 years now, the sanitizing. People sit, you know, that's not a place like hundreds of people gathered in a crazy room.
Right.
So, of course, the protocols are in place, and, you know, we've all got to buy shares in sanitizing companies.
So while we wait to hear more about the outcomes of the talks in the National Coronavirus Command Council, what are some of the considerations you think should be made to ensure that the hospitality industry isn't hit hard by the effects of a possible 4th wave?
I don't understand this new mutation sufficiently, but, you know, what would we do if I were government? First of all, the first thing I'd do is I'd consult, and as Lucky said, pick up the phone and let us all speak together with FedHasa, with the hotels. So we need to make sure that we keep going. People are wearing the masks. I think the focus has got to be vaccination. Imagine if just about every street corner there was a place to get a vaccine. That's a real solution because they'll lock us down. They'll open us up in 3-4 weeks. The vaccinations won't climb. So it's a bit of a spiral. Let's solve the real problem.
That was Grace Harding, the chairman of the Restaurant Collective, calling there for proper solutions to what may become the hardest hit sector, talking about South Africa's hospitality industry as well as restaurants who are already trying to recover from the effects of harsher lockdown regulations.